What's up people, welcome to Sanj time. This is Sanj. Today I'm going to talk about 5 tantalizingly tempting Indian dishes which I love, which every Indian loves, and it's widely consumed all over India. Whether it's north, east, south, west, whatever part of India, these 5 dishes are very popular. But they have a lot of saturated fat and cholesterol in them, and we have to limit their intake, we have to restrict their intake. Probably we should not eat them more than once a month. If you are in a shredding your fat cycle, if you want to reduce your fat percentage in your body, then you have to avoid them. Now let's get to dish number 1. First food I'm going to talk about is pav bhaji or bhaji pav, whatever you call it. It's widely consumed all over India, whether it's North India, South India, East India or West India. Pav bhaji is favorite of everyone, but it's not healthy, unfortunately, because there is a lot of butter, a lot of oil, and a lot of masalas going in there to mix with potatoes and tomatoes and some other vegetables as well to make that bhaji. And pav is certainly not healthy. The pav that you eat is also buttery, and they put a lot of butter on it. Now there is cheese bhaji pav as well, and whatnot, but it's not a healthy recipe. Okay, but you can consume it once in 2 months, or say once in a month, but not more than that, because this certainly is a cheat day eat. It's not your regular day intake. It's not gonna go with your diet plan. No dietitian is going to suggest you pav bhaji to eat it regularly, or he cannot suggest you. But if you are consuming pav bhaji, say thrice or 4 times a week, then you are inserting so much of saturated fat in your body, it's going to be very difficult for you to burn. Let me tell you the nutritional value that is associated with pav bhaji. Say it has energy is 400 calories per intake of pav bhaji, roughly a plate of bhaji pav that I'm talking about. And there is 9.4 grams of good protein as well inside pav bhaji, but there is a lot of carbohydrates. Carbohydrates is around 57.9 grams. That is a lot. There is some fiber as well, 4.5 grams, but fat is there, 14.5 grams. Cholesterol is there, 42 milligrams. So it's not a healthy food. Vitamins are also there. Vitamin A, B1, B2, B3, C and E, and some folic acid as well. Some minerals are also there in the form of calcium, iron, magnesium, phosphorus, sodium, potassium and zinc. But the main drawback about is this is a lot of carbohydrates and a lot of cholesterol. Cholesterol, there is also some fat. To burn those fats and cholesterol, you gotta work very, very hard. And some spicy masalas that just go in the making of pav bhaji. If the pav bhaji is not that spicy, it's just bland, you won't like it, so you just like with some lemon squeeze and all, and with some onions and all. So it's not a healthy meal. This is the meal number 1 that you need to avoid. This is the first food item that you have to stay away with. Let's get to food item number 2. This food dish number 2 is pani puri. Pani puri, sev puri, dahi puri, whatever puri is all you have been enjoying all your life. Now if you are into bodybuilding and you have to limit your this craving, especially girls, you have to, women, you have to limit your cravings for pani puri. It's not healthy. Pani puri is gonna provide you so many calories. 2.5 ounces of pani puri amounts to 100 calories. 100 calories, out of which 80% is just carbohydrates, and cholesterol is there, there is sodium is there, there is a lot of fat is there. It's not healthy. In short, pani puri is a mixture of, say, potatoes and some chanas and puri and water. And the water may be pure, maybe not pure. There are a lot of spices that are gonna go in the water, and it's gonna create your heartburn or acidity after eating it. Some people may have this problem, or may not have this problem, but strictly not for bodybuilders. It's not at all healthy. So you have to limit on your intake of pani puri, or you have to avoid completely this mouth-watering dish. pani puri needs to be avoided. Let's get to food dish number 3. Okay, so food dish number 3, or the food item number 3, is masala dosas. Say whatever it is, rava masala dosa, Mysore masala dosa, whatever. I love them. I absolutely love rava masala dosa. But they are buttery, they are made with ghee, or they are made with oil, and it's called, the masala is made of only potato. So potato is, you know what, it's not very healthy vegetable. It can be healthy, but it's not for reducing fat in your body. So once you're in a shrinking stage, you have to avoid masala dosas, especially those heavy cheese masala dosas and these buttery and ghee masala dosas. If you are having plain dosa, it's healthy, but that too also not with oil, butter, or say ghee. Very little of oil, ghee, or butter is alright, but not much of them. Only plain dosa is healthy, but not masala dosas. Remember this, keep in your mind. Okay, so food item number 4 is aloo paratha. Aloo paratha is highly consumed in the north of India as a breakfast, that is consumed with dahi, as they call it, it's curd, and they also eat some achars, it's pickle with it. But if you're consuming just paratha, it's fine without ghee, butter, or not much oil. But if you are consuming paratha with curd and with onions and with chilies and with pickle and whatnot, then it's very unhealthy. This aloo paratha for breakfast needs to be avoided. I know it's used to fill up your stomach as well, and people who love parathas are simply going to tell me, what are you talking about? But I'm talking sense. If you want to cut down your fat, then you need to limit your intake of aloo parathas, say once a month, or more than that. Aloo parathas are strictly very tasty, very tempting, and also very fatty. Stay away from fats. If you want to stay away from fats, if you want to stay away from carbs, if you want to stay away from cholesterol, if you want to stay away from sodium, then you gotta stay away from aloo parathas as well. Let's get to food dish number 5. Finally, the 5th food dish that you need to avoid is puri bhaji, which is consumed a lot in India to fill up your stomachs, but it is again unhealthy because the puri is basically made of oil, it's fried, and it's very tempting food, but you have to stay away from it. You have to stay away from it because it's high in cholesterol, high in fats, and if you're in a phase where you need to burn fats, then you have to avoid puri bhaji. Simply you cannot eat this puri bhaji as well, because puris are very unhealthy, and especially the bhaji is not very healthy as well, because you eat it with, say, pickle, you eat it with green chilies or fried green chilies, and you eat it with onions. I'm talking about Indian habits of eating puri bhaji, so it makes it an unhealthy dish. So these are the 5 foods that you need to avoid if you want to reduce fat, and if you are serious about reducing fat in your body, and if you are working out day in, day out, then these 5 foods you need to avoid. That's it, guys. Now if you got any more queries about the foods that I described, or if you got any comments to share with me, you can share it below in the comment sections, and you can also message me on my Instagram. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share my video. I suggest you to stay fit, stay sharp, and stay healthy. Sanj signs off. Goodbye.